Hello, my name is Jeff DeLouis-Jacques, and I am here as part of the collective group Sci-Fi. Our project is called Socially Responsible Investing. For those that don't know, socially responsible investing is the practice of investing money in companies and funds that have positive social impact on the world. We chose this project because we ultimately wanted to do something that has value, tangible value for those that want to. Right now, throughout the pandemic, a lot of people have been investing, but they have not. But there hasn't been much conversation around people that are conscious about the companies they're investing into. So we wanted to just provide added value by allowing them to be able to contrast the difference. Can you go to the next slide, please? So the project description is: we are providing millennials and Gen Z that are socially responsible investors a free tool to review current company stock price in comparison to the respective company's overall social responsibility ratings. This free tool will provide the social responsibility rating of the company, along with the most recent articles written about that company. As an added value, we also would like at scale to partner with a third party that would allow that investor to quickly invest in that company once they are interested within that timeline. So in other words, if someone goes to our website, they see, they research a company that they're interested in, they like the rating of the company as far as their overall rating and responsibility in the market, and they want to invest, they could literally just click on a link and place that investment. I'm going to pass it over to one of my team members.
Hi, I'm Harshal. I'm presenting the persona section of my project, and our project, like our product, has four type of personas. First is the end user persona. Let's take the example of one donor. She is the recently graduated student, and she is looking for investing her money. So she values of she is new to the space of the investing, and Donna is very conscious when it comes to investing in companies that are known for conducting unethical practices. For with the low risk of tolerance for unethical companies, she is looking for a reliable platform which will give her enough insight to make good investments as a socially conscious investor with no string attached. So she will come to our platform for look the uh, information about the financial status of the companies she is gonna invest in. Can you next slide, please? Our next persona is gonna be the influencer. Like Mikhail is a famous wealthy long-term investor that does public speaking from time to time and encourages his audience to do more diligence about the companies they are investing in. During speaking engagement, he often suggests easy tools that can help new investors to get more insights about the conscious investing. Mikhail often suggests SRI, that is our website we are going to make to his audience as a great open source free tool. He also uses SRI for quick research as well. And our next persona is going to be positioning persona. Like positioning persona is the person who is already paying for the services services like Yahoo Finance, Fidelity, or IBKR, and he wants to invest in the he wants to invest more. So he is looking for a platform which will provide the financial and fundamental details about the company for free. So he will come to our platform for the details of the company. Our next persona will be the anti-persona. Like anti-persona is the one who doesn't believe companies should be monitored based on ethics, and he believes companies that drive value to the bottom line are ultimate indicator for investing, regardless if the company doesn't have the best public opinion. And he is never gonna use our platform. And now the next person comes in.
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Muhammad Farhan. Here, I'm gonna talk about the customer experience, like when a customer visit our website, what he is actually looking at, how the customer journey is going to be. Here, we are mainly focusing on the customer experience, like the Steve Jobs is saying here, we have to start with the customer experience and work towards the technology, not the other way around. So we are gonna walk through each phases once the customer has visited our website, what is on what phases he's gonna go through. So that is what we are gonna look at right now. Yeah, this is the customer journey. Here basically we are focusing mostly on the functionality part, not the insight. So yeah, first initially the user is going to log in. This is the open source website, so anyone can use our website for free of cost. So basically people doesn't like to log in very much, so the login page is optional. We can keep it an optional if it's. And the second thing is going to be if the user wants to register and it creates an account with our website, he can create it. We also have a settings page where the user can update his personal details, his email ID, and we are also thinking of adding a password, and we also need to verify the email address of a particular user. Yeah, this is just standard. These we have created 4 sections for it, like the login section, search section, comparison, and investment. So the first 5 6 points are going to be the mainly focusing on the login section. It is pretty much normal. Yeah, then comes the main point here, the search bar, where user can enter the particular company that he is looking for, and he can get the stock prices and the rating of the particular company. If that company is not in our database, or that company is not there, if it then the system is going to return invalid company, or the company result is not found. Okay, we also have the articles to compare. If once the company name is fetched, he can compare that company with other companies that are in the market. And we can, the search bar also has filters to filters to hyper focus on specific regions, specific sectors of business, and etc. So yeah, these are the basic functionalities. And the last thing is going to be the graphs. Yes, definitely. The yeah, the end user can get more and more insights when he can look in the graphs and latest news articles. So we are also looking at the backend, like for the APIs, we are trying to integrate it. But again, we are mainly focusing on the functionality here. Graphs and of the respective company will be displayed on the dashboard, and the company dashboard, then we will have past history also. And the last thing that we are going to do is we are not handling the investment part. The investment can be done through a third-party website services, which will be integrated through our website. So yeah, if some end user wants to invest in a particular company that is a socially responsible company, then we are going to redirect that company to a third-party website. They're going to do it for us. Yeah. So so yeah, this is basically what the customer map is going to be, journey map is going to be. Now the next person, Samarth, is gonna share more details about the project. Yep.
Can you do the next slide?
Yeah, here is the slide, bro.
So yeah, so
hi,
this is the competition analysis. So this piece is ultimately just kind of giving a rough breakout of who are the different competitors that we see out there, and we just quick analysis of where we stand against that company. So for example, you have Yahoo Finance, you have FinWiz, you have Market Watch, etc. The big differentiator between a lot of these companies is they are a paid service and we are free, which is absolutely a great incentive. And then also these guys, they just provide metrics about the overall financing, but they do not identify the standing of the specific companies' social responsibility ratings. And that information will come through a third-party API that specializes in that. And Samath is actually going to do the next slide where he'll talk about that some more. Next slide. Thank you.
So basically, I'll be explaining like what all technologies we are using. So like for project management, we are using Jira. So basically, it is like a project management tool where we'll be like monitoring our tasks like time to time, like when we'll be completing it, like weekly or days. And for the like development part, for the IDE, the Visual Studio Code which we are using as an IDE, and the main like programming language is Python. And for backend, we are using Google Cloud Platform. Actually, there's a typo. So basically, we'll be connecting our website to the Google Cloud for the backend. And for front end, we are using basic HTML, CSS. And for APIs, we are using Postman. Like for people who don't know what Postman is, so basically it is a website through which we can create, share, and test our APIs, like whether they are working properly or not. And for the visualization part, we are using Tableau. Next slide. So basically, Jeff will be explaining this part.
Jeff, are
Apologies.
you?
I was on mute. Apologies. So yeah, so for Jira, we actually realized that Jira was a powerful tool to help us manage the project. So what you're looking at on your left-hand side, this big snapshot, is an export from Jira of all of our epics, and it's actually color-coded based on the type of task that we've identified. The timeline, as you could see, is kind of like a waterfall timeline. And this timeline is basically capturing all activity required to finish the project successfully as of February all the way up until May. And I'll go into the details of what the difference between epics are, or the different color schemes are, and also what the epics represent. So epics are basically like the general task at hand. Within that, you could have what's called stories and also tasks. So for us, we've only leveraged the epic and story component. The color patterns that we've used is purple. Everything you see on here that's purple identifies clear tasks that we need to get done. That could be the research of APIs. That could be just researching the best backend to build off, et cetera, et cetera. Everything that you see in orange up top, those are basically like the peer reviews. So we've integrated both the tasks that are required for the class along with the tasks that are required for the project, because they're simultaneously go hand in hand. Everything that you see in black, the little black dots, those are our weekly meetings actually. So every Friday through Sunday, because everyone has different schedules, we find a time slot to meet together and ultimately have a conversation about our learnings, what we did right, what we need to improve on as a collective, and also what we discovered, meaning like if we research something and it's applicable for the application, that is the time where we decide how we're going to integrate it in the following weeks. We've done that successfully with Jira. For example, we started working with Excel. We realized it was not manageable. So then we implemented Jira. Everything in blue is representing code that needs to be written. So there's front end, there's the UI, there's the back end, and then there's API integration. Everything you see in green, that one line of green, that's going to be when we actually really start testing the application. We're giving ourselves a full month to get that done. And everything you see in red, yes, it's the red zone. It's basically what we're doing right now, which is presentations and papers that are due. Can you go to the next slide, please? So just to kind of double down on what I mentioned with Jira, Jira has a lot of flexibility. So for example, what you're looking at here is basically a closer snapshot of the different epics. So for example, towards the bottom, there's this epics called need to research available resources. And what that epics is dealing with is basically all of our APIs that we broke down into stories. It's dealing with the stock price API, the SRI, the socially responsible investing company API. We found a company, but we're still doing more research. And we also need to find a mechanism for the Google article feed. So those are the different things that we need to consider. And at scale, ideally, just for considering what our options are, we were thinking about using some artificial intelligence tools, maybe like some ML, to ultimately work with the user profile and give them better predictive learning analysis based on different criteria that they could fill out in the application. But that remains to be seen. But that's something that we were talking about. So we're leveraging Jira for all of our sprints, which we have documented in this timeline I showed a second ago. And obviously, as we run into new issues, we create tickets and also leverage the task section to monitor who's doing what, who's assigned to where, what links we need to manage, et cetera, et cetera. So it has been a great tool that we've definitely made a lot of progress with. And I'll pass it over to my teammate for the next slide.
Push, are you there?
Stop, please. Stop recording.
So for our group, as we started planning our project, we realized managing micro tasks is very important. And as we were scheduling every task on Excel, which didn't turn out to be a good idea. So Louis came up with the idea for putting our deadlines and all our tasks for the project on Jira, which was helpful in a way as it gave us a visual timeline for all our tasks, how we need to plan it, and also helped us to gauge an idea on how to work on our task and how to finish up quickly on our deadlines. For our ideas to work on, initially we had different ideas for the group project. So we started having a weekly stand-up calls where we identified and discussed our roadblocks on the ideas, and then we came up with our final end product. So once we finalized our project, we identified the high priority items that we need to start working on and also putting on measurable goal timelines on those tasks, which is also done with the help of Jira. And for the next steps, we still need to work on how we will manage our team meetings to finish up our deadlines. And we also need to discuss how we're going to assign each task of our project to each individual person and then start working on the assigned task. And the next slide is going to be presented by Kiran.
Pause.
Yeah.
Well, I'm Nagasai Kiran Nimakaila, and well, an MVP is a minimum viable product. Is a process when we are trying to perfect the application. We're trying to get the right. We are trying to get the right customer, and we are trying to get the right feature. So we are trying to get the right story, and we are trying to get everything right. So once we have that, once we have it, like we know exactly what the customers are, then we should work on technology part and right features part. Then the company wants to grow, we could add machine learning to predict analysis about different personas or different users that is using the platform. Then the word is scale comes to the picture. Then we can scale it up with MVP. So this is all about MVP scale app. So we can scale it up with MVP. Yeah. So next slide, please. So Farhan, would you like to say?
Basically, we have created the Wikipedia link in the GitHub. Everything that we have done, we will be posting on the GitHub, all the source codes, all the improvements that we are making on the weekly basis. We are gonna post it there. Everyone, I have also put up the link there. You can go and check it out. Yeah, thank you very much. And when's the core? If you have any questions,